Hi, guys. This is Miss Head, and we're going to take a look at the last week of this activity. But before we get to the very last week, let's look at day 39. You've been looking at ways to help in your community, putting a plan together for any problems that you may have come across. And so today, for day 39, let's take a look at what's next. Your directions are pretty simple. It says carry out your plan, take pictures, or record what happens during your activity. So you have a plan, we hope. You've had some time to describe that plan in detail. We've given you some steps to go through. Hopefully, you've come up with some great ideas. And if you had any questions, I really do hope that you asked your teachers for help. So let's look at this final product entry 8. You've been doing several of these, and it says write a quick recap of your activity. And a recap is simply going back through and in a shortened form, tell what you did, what steps you took, how you did things in order to come up with a plan, an action plan to help in your community. So it asks you to write a quick recap of that activity. If for some reason you're unable to carry out that plan, then this says write about what might happen. In other words, if for whatever reason you're unable to go into the community and take these steps, take this action that you would like to take to help, at least you can go ahead and write about what you would do if you could do that, or what you will do when the opportunity is right for you to help. And as always, we've given you some sentence frames to help you get started to write about your ideas. All right, so that's for day 39, and it simply is asking you to go back, review all of the steps that you went through as you worked on this project. And there were a lot of things for you to consider. You started small. You started with your own home. And then it asked you to look outside, to look into the community, to review maybe what good things happened, what bad things happened, and then to go a little deeper and think about ways that you could create positive change in all of this. So that's day 39. Now, when you get to day 40, let's take a look at this. It simply asks you to refine and polish your project. Now, refine means you make it a little bit better. Go back through, think about word choice. If there are some things you're not sure you'll be able to do, then you might even put some options in there, some different things that you could consider. When it says to polish your project, think about maybe a glass that needs to be polished or a piece of silver that needs to be polished. And when you've done that work, what happens? It shines. So refining and polishing your project simply means you're going back through, you're looking at things you can do to create the best possible project for you at this time. Now, it does ask you to include all of those product entries. Now, you've been submitting those every day to your teachers, and I'm sure you still have a record of those because you've been working on those in the last few days. Now, it gives you some examples here for your final product entry 8. And it says reflect. Reflect on your community service project. Now, if you've not had an opportunity to do this project yet, it's kind of hard to reflect. But if you haven't been able to do it, then you can imagine perhaps what might occur if and when you are able to put this community service project into action. So it asks you, how did it impact you and how did it impact others? Because that's the whole purpose. For you to work on this project means that you are trying to bring about good in the lives of others, but also in your own life. So here are a couple of sentence frames to help you get started. And obviously, if those are not workable for you, if you have not yet been able to do this project, then the impact you're talking about may simply be the impact on you as you made your plan. What stood out to you? How did it make you feel? What did you immediately think? Something has to be done about this. What stood out that you wanted to change? So it says here that you're asked to develop a product with well-chosen, relevant, and sufficient facts, extended definitions, concrete details, quotations, commentary, and other info and examples that are appropriate to your audience's knowledge of the topic. So think about somebody who may not know. Maybe they're looking at this project many years in the future, as some of you have done. You've looked back at what people have experienced in the past in earlier pandemics. But it wants you, or it's asking you to be very careful with the information that you use. Don't shortcut anything. Make sure you have complete definitions. Make sure you're giving concrete details. Use some quotations. Make a commentary. That means, what do you think about the things that you read? What do you think about the things that you've seen? So you want to be very careful and very thorough in your reflection. And this will be drawing on what you know, drawing on what you really don't know, because there's a lot of things that we're unsure of right now. But you are certain that you want to make a change, and you want to make a change for good. So as you talk about your project and you begin to put your ideas together, go back and review all those steps.